Through the concrete cracks worn weary by work boots and high heels. Through the concrete cracks showered in tears of sorrow, tears of joy. Through the concrete cracks rumbled by reverberations of 100 years, a flower on the hill takes its first breath, and a grand hope springs. Welcome to the Spring Street podcast at the intersection of creation and destruction in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. And now, a word from the sponsors. This podcast is sponsored by Starship Kairos, a podcast studio available for bookings in downtown Los Angeles. Starship Kairos is where my guests and I make this show happen. Soundproofed, cozy, and equipped with professional audio gear, Starship Kairos is an ideal location for any type of podcast. Starship Kairos offers a full suite of services including content consultation, mixing and mastering, and custom jingle writing. For rates and booking, check them out on Instagram at Starship Kairos or click on the link in the description. And now, let's dive in. Okay, Lexi.
Hello,
Welcome to the Spring
Sheldon.
Street podcast.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
This is actually the second time I've done a podcast in this van. But the first time that I did it, I did not have like good mics. It was a very sketchy setup. It was like,
Okay, I hear ya.
So this is the first time of like actually taking this, like basically what I have in my studio downtown
That's fun.
and bringing it on the road. So it's an honor to have you in my van.
Well, thank you so much. I feel honored to be here.
I'm excited to hear about your story, your journey into van life. I know that you're a new van lifer. So let's go to the beginning. Why did you decide to live in a van?
Why did I decide to live in a van? I have been someone who's found it difficult to be stable somewhere. And it just kind of made sense. Like I fell in love with travel at a young age. And I think a lot of my experiences after getting out of a long-term relationship, I was able to do more exploring and sit into the travel bug. So yeah, I don't know. I did a little bit of travel nursing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm a registered nurse, and I'm from Canada. I can tell you that. We have that in common, right?
Yes, right.
I'm from Alberta, grew up in Calgary area, and then moved up to Jasper in 2019.
Nice.
Did
So
some
beautiful.
nursing.
I haven't actually been up to Jasper, but I've seen pictures.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
like it has a chokehold on my heart. It's the best. The community there, they are a treasure. I moved there and did my nursing, and then COVID hit. And I was like, okay.
Crazy time to be a nurse.
Crazy time to be a nurse. And I was also questioning, like, why am I in nursing at that time? But I was like, maybe I'll just sit into travel nursing a little bit. So I popped over. When did I pop over? 2021? 2020? A little fan. Oh, yeah, your fan's going. 2021. I popped over to Victoria, did some travel nursing for like 3 months, came back to Jasper.
Did you not like Victoria?
Oh, no, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love
It is
out
beautiful. Yeah. But I didn't have my cats with me. I did it solo. And I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to bring them with me.
Yeah.
So the next experience I was able to and packed my car. And it was fun. But I don't know. There was just something about nursing that wasn't fitting for me. And I had called up a friend. Rusty is her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rusty.
Yeah, she'll love that. So Rusty, she was just like being my bestie, being my older sister, I will say. And she's just like, well, why don't you just follow your heart for a minute? Like, what are you called to do? I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want to do more traveling, but I don't really think I want to sit with nursing in it. And then she showed me an influencer, Quinn Gable, and her van and 2 cats. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
That's
and
awesome.
then that just kind of sparked my desires to go traveling more. It derailed me because I thought I was going to go to Australia and do travel nursing.
Oh, wow.
But I started the process of that and just ended up deciding, you know what? It's going to be the same thing. The type of nursing that I'm picking is just transfers to a different location. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So currently, are you doing any kind of like remote work as a nurse or?
No, I left. I didn't even renew my license in Alberta for the winter. Keep thinking it's summer because we're away from all the snow. But yeah, no, I may renew it for the spring. We'll see what happens. And I've shifted a lot. I last year got my 200-hour yoga certificate. And then throughout last year, I got a life coaching diploma.
Wow.
Yeah. So
nice.
I'm trying to make that my mode of work on the road.
That's really cool. Man. And then you came to the States.
I've come to the States.
Recently.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So was that kind of your initial plan when you built the van? Like, get down to America, skip the rest of Canada, or you want like a big loop? What's kind of been your journey?
So my van was already built out.
Okay.
I did rent. I had tried a couple rentals first. Stories about those, of course, but
yeah,
we'll skip those for now.
Yeah.
Okay. But I got the van that I have now, and it was built out by someone in Montreal. And then a couple girls from Ontario purchased it. They toured with it for 5 months and then left it in Edmonton. I picked it up and I was like, okay, let's go back to Jasper, get home. Like, I don't know. That's where I feel stable.
Yeah.
So I stabilized myself there over the summer. And I only bought it, March of 2023.
Wow.
Moved in June. And then I, left Jasper in September and started traveling October. Crossed the border November.
Did you have any trouble at all crossing the border in the van?
Oh my gosh, I came through
easy?
the Vancouver. Yeah, I came through, I don't even remember the name of it, but just south of Vancouver. So I went BC first and then down. I wanted to do the West Coast. And there was one car in front of me, two officers, and one like hopped in the van and he's like, "You sure you don't have 3 cats in here?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that would be way too many. Like, I don't think they would have let me in if I had 3 cats." So yeah, no, it was like 5 minutes. There's no problem.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the cats.
Sure.
Because I mean, so many people have dogs and that kind of seems to be like a very typical like van lifer thing.
Yeah.
What are some of maybe the unique challenges that come with having cats in a van on the road?
Well, I have one orange tabby and he's very social and the more explorative adventure type. So I really bought the van for him. It wasn't for me. And yeah, he keeps me on my toes because I'm traveling so much, I've taught them how to like leash, like be led by a leash.
Yeah.
Actually, they lead me. Who am I kidding? But they're on a leash and we walk around. I just feel safer that way. So if we're shifting environments, they're not getting hurt.
Makes sense.
I'm there with them. So yeah, he's very social and has been jumping out to the yoga circles while we're here. And that has made it hard because he wants to just go. He will like shimmy himself backwards if he doesn't want to be in his harness anymore or on the tether. And then the other one, she's more skittish. So she's like this little black tabby. Her name's Harlow. She's
so cute.
Just a sweet angel babe. And she's more of like my guardian of the home, I would say. So when Charlie takes me away from the home, I'm like looking back for her. I'm like, Charlie, where are we going? We got Harlow back home. Like, she just meows for me. It's very sweet.
Do you have to have a litter box in the van or are they pretty good about like, so
yeah, I guess it would have been cool, if we had this podcast in my van so I could give you a little tour. You can always come over and like tour
we got to do the tour after this. So,
yeah, it's right at the front entrance. There's like a box like you have actually. And I just cut a hole. Essentially, I don't have an oven, but there's shelving up top. I just lifted the shelf up a little bit.
Yeah.
Put a Tupperware tote there and cut a hole. It's fine. It works well.
Yeah.
Pine pellets. Pine pellets are amazing.
Okay.
They just like biodegradable and go into sawdust. I need to figure out a little more sifting. I need to figure out some sifting methods, but we'll get there.
And then do the cats like cozy up with you at night or do they have their own little spot? Yeah.
Yeah. So like the first month and a bit, it was just adjusting the whole unit of us into the home. And the stresses were mostly about them running away. They then experienced a bit of a winter in June in Jasper and it got really chilly and now they're very snuggly. They weren't like Charlie's very snuggly. Yeah. But Harlow now like cuddles in my arm and it was so sweet. I love it. She sleeps on my body pillow next to me and Charlie's in one arm or he's on my head. That's his new thing. He sleeps right on my face or like my neck. I'm like, bud.
That's so funny.
This is so nice of you, but yeah, it just gives you a cat bath in the morning and good to go.
Nice. So what time of year were you guys living in the van in Jasper? Was that in the summer or?
Yeah, spring, summer. I moved in to it in June and just like traveled back up to Jasper. I was there June to September.
So for the most part, you've had like decently warm season for living in the van.
It's been excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I did get a heater installed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a diesel heater or?
No, it's actually a gas S-bar. Yeah. Found one in Calgary.
Nice. So does it hook to your gas tank of the van? Whoa. Is it underneath one of the seats?
No, I had to like put it into my garage.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got to the point yet where I've like really felt the need to get a heater. There's some cold nights though where I'm just like in a hoodie.
Honestly, I haven't used it as I love that you say too. Like I say it around here and everyone's like
what are you talking about? Well, I'm only saying it because you're here. If I was speaking to an American,
you'd say beanie?
I would say beanie because they wouldn't know what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I say also washroom all the time. And people are like, what do you mean washroom? You can wash up somewhere? I'm like, oh, my bad. Restroom.
That one, there's some terms that I like interchangeably use and just not think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because some I don't even like. So I was born in Canada, but my family's Canadian, but I grew up in the States.
Oh, I didn't.
And then I moved back when I was 18.
Okay.
So there's some things that are just like
interchangeable,
and like I don't even know which one is like Canadian and which one's American, and just all mixed up.
Okay, that's fair.
That's funny though.
So sorry, I derailed the conversation.
People get thrown off by washroom though.
Yeah, I get made fun about that a little bit here.
That's funny.
Maybe Californians bug me.
Interesting. Have you been to the West Coast, like Oregon, California before?
Not before. Well, I have done a lot of travel to like California, and I did my yoga teacher training in Joshua Tree.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
Sweet.
So I feel very like grounded in the desert with it. And where else was I going? Oh, I don't know. Yes, I have been to San Diego when I was a kid. I don't know. I haven't done like a full travel in a car down through the West Coast. So that was like the mission, was to get down to the West Coast, just see it all. And I had, I don't know, dabbled with the idea of going to Baja, but I think one border is enough for this solo gal and her two cats.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Baja. I haven't done that yet.
You haven't?
Not yet.
Oh.
But it does sound incredible. I think if I had a remote job, 100%, I would go down to Baja.
Totally.
But what have you found, or maybe some of the differences between van life up in Alberta or van life in Canada versus van life in the States?
I feel like I cheated a little.
Okay.
Because I went back to Jasper where I feel like I'm at home and I was working with a little bit of the nursing. So all my community, they're amazing. I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways. It was just like, they were just like opening their homes to me of like, park in my driveway. I'm away for the summer. Can you house sit? So I feel like I like kind of am only just getting into van life full time now.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you kind of eased into it.
I did ease into it.
Which is nice.
It was. Yeah. So yeah, there was like a transition period that was more easeful. And then what was the next part of your question?
Well, how it differs. Like, how van life in your experience is different in Canada versus America?
Oh, yes. I feel like it took a while for me to really meet van lifers. Yeah, because even while I was in Jasper, I was kind of more in town with my crew of people who don't live in vans. And then I would do campsites at the beginning of my travels just to get comfortable with being solo. And that experience, it was a lot of like, you know, retirees and they're just...
It's a different generation.
Different generation.
Sure.
So there wasn't many solo female nomads that I was meeting or anyone of my age. And then I would say, getting down to San Diego is when I really like got the chance to meet people, more solo cat folk, solo women with cats.
Okay.
Yeah. And and now I'm here at Skoolie. I had just learned about Skoolie, I would say like 2 weeks before.
Wow. How'd you find out about Skooliepalooza?
At this little meetup that I went to.
In San Diego?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So
yeah, tell me about it.
So the meetup that I had was with the girl that inspired me. She posted. Yeah.
No way.
She posted, she's like, I'm going to be like stable in one place. And she had come through Jasper in the summer and I was like, oh, I'm going to like thank her for like her inspiration. And missed her because she's always on the go. And then when she posted this meetup, I was, I think, in Santa Barbara. And I was like, I gotta make it. So I was boogieing down the coast. I was like, bye, LA. I've been there before. I just motored on down. Got to meet her and Kaylee King and a couple other van lifers that I wouldn't have ever gotten to meet hadn't I gone to this meetup. And I got to thank her in person.
Was there like any kind of name for the meetup or was it just like a spontaneous?
It was just a spontaneous, like...
That's cool.
Yeah, 2 solo female
Did she come here to Skooliepalooza?
No, she was the one actually that mentioned Skoolie at first. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
What's that? I'll check it out.
Wow.
And then it has given me the chance to like teach yoga and do a little life coaching and just create community. And that's like something I value so much is community and connection. So yeah, the first like 3 months, 2 months was pretty lonely, I would say. Yeah. It's
a pretty big contrast to go from feeling more like isolated on the road to coming out to Skooliepalooza.
Oh yeah.
And being surrounded by like 1,000 other nomads.
Totally.
What do you think that impact has had on you of seeing this, being a part of this community, you know, dancing through the night, Skooliepalooza?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what kind of impact has it had on me? That's a great question. I feel like there's so much love and just like a soulful... people just live in this lifestyle with soul, I would say. Like it's not for the majority of people I've met anyhow. It doesn't seem to be for the aesthetic of it or like, I don't know. They're just living soulfully for themselves and they're not out there. Maybe they are out there, but trying to show off this lifestyle. Like they truly want to connect with nature. They want to connect with themselves. And that could also just be the camp that I'm camped up at because I'm in the wellnesses. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like everyone has a very similar value around like connection, nature, and travel. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would totally agree. The vibe out here is like this camp that I'm a part of, for example, you know, a lot of us did not know each other.
Yeah.
at all. I joined this camp with just my friends, Nathan and Lexi, and we slowly kind of met everyone. And actually, not slowly, like fast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy how quickly we all bonded.
Totally.
Over sharing food and sharing drinks. And
oh, yeah. Everyone's so open to sharing.
Resources, whatever, like it's amazing.
It's so cool.
And it also feels like such a contrast from everyday life. Mm-hmm. You might have that with your friends in the city, but not with like complete strangers.
No. And you can just like walk to your friend's house.
Yeah.
Like easy peasy.
Yeah.
I mean, Jasper was very small like that too. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. There's something about just like living in a circle and you just like open the door and know that that person's home and you can just like walk on over and be like, hi. But you get distracted a lot.
Totally.
Like
there's a lot going on.
You say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Someone pulls you off the street to paint your nails. Like the sweetest little 6-year-old. Like there's so much to do. And I feel like I've been out of my home way more now than I have been in it. Mm-hmm. But that's the Skooliepalooza like vibe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Would you say that your van feels like home, or would you describe it more as just a mode of being in this, place and time?
Yeah, I feel like I've gone back and forth with it, feeling like home and not. Mm-hmm. But it depends on how long I stay out of it. Yeah, if that makes sense.
So the longer you stay out of it,
so if
the more it feels like home, or the less it feels like home?
The less it would feel like home if I stay out of it. So I had recently been away from it for a week and I was like, ooh, this place is a little unfamiliar.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I was a little nervous. It was right before I got to Skoolie. So I had like a bunch of anxiety. I'm like, what is this? Like, why am I, this is home. Like, what's going on? Yeah. But I think it was also like the event, like not knowing what to expect here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you were imagining Skooliepalooza and like a bunch of van lifers out in the desert and school buses, like what were some of those, or fears or expectations or things going through your mind?
Oh, I have 2 questions to answer here. The home one, or do you want the Skoolie one first?
I guess let's do the home one first and then the Skoolie one, yeah.
Okay. It's a very good question. Yes, the home one, I do now feel, I'm like, it still actually is not really sunk in, I would say. Because even being here, I'm like, I'm going back home. And then I get into my home, I'm like, well, this is it. Like,
yep.
What a small little space, but it does feel very homey. It's got my knickknacks and my cats and my comforts. And I don't love when there's a lot of other people in there. For too long.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I'm like, this is my space. Like, I honestly don't know how 2 people stay in a van together. I have too much stuff. Like, I downgraded, but like downsized my own stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like my space. And it's nice if someone else has their own space.
Yeah.
So you can be like, you know what? How about we just like take space and like sit in our homes and like do our thing, recalibrate whatever you need to do to realign. Because it is a lot here. It is a lot to be with people all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Need to honor the alone time.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that can be tricky.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then your question around Skoolie.
Yeah. Expectations, thoughts, fears, things running through your mind before you came. I
wasn't even sure what I had expected for Skoolie because it was so fresh in my mind. It just sounded like there was going to be community. I think I just expected to make community there.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first person I met was my neighbors in Canada, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan plates. They were so excited.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just felt like, okay, that's an ease. Like I can sit with this. Not knowing how far out, I guess, from cell service, or if there would even be cell service, kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
I do have Starlink, but I don't know. There's just something around the safety of having the ability to call for your safe person. Mm-hmm. What else? I think it was just the unknown of how the event would take place, and what kind of people you would meet.
Yeah.
That brought more fear in my heart, or like not even my heart. It was just like centrally. It was just in my chest. I don't know. I was just like, okay, am I going to be safe here? That's the thing too. With being a solo woman, I don't know what it's like being a guy, but as a solo woman, a lot of the time you're on guard and like constantly in a doing state of like thinking about where you're going to sleep next, and is that space a safe space where you're not going to get broken into. I don't know. The shifts constantly bring up the anxiety in me. And I feel like that's pretty normal for a lot of the solo van lifers. And maybe more so female. But yeah, so like trying to let your guard down in a space of so many people that you don't know is really hard. But
do you feel like that's been possible though here at school?
Oh yeah. It took 2 days, I would say. 2 days and yoga. Getting involved in the community and then putting myself out there to teach. And that's helped. And I feel like way more at home with everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm always very curious about the perspective of women who are solo traveling. Because I think that that's a unique experience. And also, I know a lot of women who are curious about the lifestyle, but apprehensive. Would you say that that sense of like always needing to be on guard is something that detracts from the experience overall? Or is it something that's just kind of manageable and you're simultaneously able to do that, but also not let it affect your mojo?
Yeah. I mean, at times it can be a little bit debilitating. Like I find night for me isn't my favorite. I don't really like night driving. And I want to be able to get to my space of where I'm sleeping or just like somewhere near so that I can scope it out. I like seeing it in the light. I can walk my cats before it's dark. Yeah. And then we can just like pop in the van and do the thing. But I'm also trying to be stealth sometimes. Yeah. And so, I don't know, like trying to turn on lights and cook at night has been hard.
Do you have windows in your van?
Yeah, I have like double windows on either side.
Got it.
So sometimes the cats pull the little screens down and that sucks.
You're like, guys, we're trying to be stealth here.
Exactly.
Don't touch the curtains.
Every dang day.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're
trying to out you.
They're characters, those two.
No.
And where else was I going with that question? Yeah, ask it again.
What would you say that, I mean, overall though, despite that level of anxiety or like, apprehension about like the nighttime and those feelings, that overall you're able to embrace the experience?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. It's a lot of like, what's the word? Grounding or just like regulating your emotions and like sitting with the fear. But then also like talking yourself through it of like where you are. I personally have extra locks on my doors on the insides and the outside. So if I feel like I'm in an area where it's not really safe, I can lock those up extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just having like little extra things to keep me safe, my comforts, that helps within the space. But yeah, then I'm like ready to go in the morning. Yeah. Just starting a fresh day and like get to explore. I don't know, it kind of like disappears quickly. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences on the road that have been kind of scary or sketchy or?
My gosh, sorry. I have a raspy voice from all this like karaokeing.
I definitely have a raspy voice,
and, like,
so you
yelling
are all good.
over probably your music. I was teaching yoga.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Have I run into experiences? There was one in actually BC. Really? Yeah, where I was like, can I trust this person? Like, it was kind of the first 2 weeks away from leaving home, and And I was like, still learning to build trust with people. That's a lot of what this is like just learning to build trust with yourself and a lot of trust with other people and your environment. And I do have the belief that people are inherently good. And I feel if I put that out there, then that's what's going to be received back. So yeah, I don't know. I guess test that and at times, and I've gotten myself here. I feel pretty good about the choices I've made. And yeah, there was one point in BC where there was an older guy who was just very friendly, but ended up having like an older friend himself that's a woman that invited me over too. And I was like, okay, I feel more comfortable now. Yeah. And then he invited me to stay at his place. Actually, I should tell you about him.
Tell me about him.
Sorry, so you can play in his backyard. Yeah, he has a stage back there. So when I go back to Canada, he's like, let me know. Yeah, he's like, let me know.
Where in BC?
Oh, in Maple Ridge area.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. So I was like camped out there, and his house is like a couple blocks away, but he's near this campsite, and he's like, he's retired. Firefighter.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's got this massive backyard, massive stage. He just let me stay the night, do some laundry, shower, and like eat food. He has a female roommate, so I felt more comfortable with that too. Like, I don't know. You really have to trust your intuition and your gut. Yeah. But yeah, I have moved a couple spots from Walmarts in the States.
Yeah.
They're a little sketch.
Yeah. I've actually never done the Walmart parking.
No?
Yeah. Normally I'm just on streets, like side streets or like a main-ish street. Yeah. Parking lots I've had the most trouble with.
Really?
Yeah. Parking lots I've had at the very, very, very beginning, like first night of van life. A security guard came up to my brother and I, like knocked on the window in a parking lot.
Right, because you were in a minivan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when we moved to LA, same thing. We tried a parking lot. Security guard knocked on the window.
Well, I hear LA is pretty hard to like.
It can be. Okay. You kind of just need to learn your way around. So at this point, I know like a ton of spots.
Oh, okay.
Where I can park, but not parking lots.
No.
Always street parking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the last time that I tried to park in a parking lot, I woke up to like banging on my door and like a flatbed tow truck like in front of my van.
Holy, that was pretty close, hey?
So yeah, for me, I'm like sworn off of parking lots. I'm like, no more parking lots.
Okay, that's understandable. Casinos.
Yes, actually, casinos are tight.
They are.
Yeah, they're actually the easiest.
They are the easiest.
They're open 24/7, so if you gotta go to the bathroom, get up, go to the casino.
Yeah, sometimes they have free coffee.
Sometimes they got free drinks.
Sometimes they have free drinks. It's a sick place to be.
Which casino have you been to?
Oh, like quite a few.
Yeah?
Yeah, like every place I've kind of traveled down, I'm like, is there a casino in the area? I'll stop here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they kind of allow like 2 or 3 nights.
Nice.
In the parking lot. And then,
that's not a bad move.
Yeah.
That's solid. You're just on the casino tour. Yeah. Have you been out to Vegas yet?
Not in my van. Previous travels, but yeah. I don't know. Have you done that in this rig?
I'm trying to... No, I haven't done it in the van. The last time I went out, I just stayed with a friend and took the motorcycle.
Oh, cool.
But I've thought about like spending some more time in Vegas in the van.
That'd be pretty sweet.
So I think it might be a little easier actually than LA.
Oh.
And maybe a little safer too.
Interesting. How come?
Well, I'm always afraid that somebody's going to smash my windows in LA. Like,
for sure.
Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
And are you in this in LA? Are you in this full time?
Yeah.
Really? Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm full time in the van. So... There's always this like base level of anxiety for me about my van.
Of course, you've got like all this equipment.
Well, normally this I keep at my studio.
Oh, well, that's.
I actually keep basically like no valuables in my van.
Okay.
Kind of because I'm like, man, if somebody broke into my van, they're gonna get my food and my clothes, and that's it.
Well, that's not bad.
Like, I don't really have.
Then you just
anything.
have one window to fix. I don't
know. But still, there's the. And also too, like, street sweeping and towing and parking tickets, all that stuff. I think, honestly, Vegas might be a little bit easier.
I totally get you. It's like this disgusting feeling of someone entering your personal space. So,
yeah. But
okay, Vegas.
thus is the ebb and flow of the van life.
It's true.
And the beauty of being able to get up and move.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
What would you say have been some of the highlights and some of the pros of living in a van?
Oh gosh, highlights. I love that. Yeah, I can change my scenery at any given moment, and I love going to the beach or a park, just walking my cats out there. Yeah, I came across somewhere in, I think, Oregon, just this seawall where the water would splash up. And so that I have like this majestic moment, this water splashing up. The rainbow is like in behind the sky, or in behind my cats in the sky.
Yeah.
It was just like such a magical moment. I feel like you just have so many magical moments on the road.
Yeah.
And then there's also been some not so magical moments on the road, but little bumps, you know.
What have those little bumps been?
I had I have a lucky front tire is what I call it.
Okay.
It's my lucky front passenger tire. And it didn't come with a hubcap when I got it. So I don't know what the gals did before me, but I had ended up going through a narrowed bridge passage, and another van was coming towards me, and I think I was just like paying more attention to how close I was to the van than to the bridge passing on the right, and my tire well smashed into the bridge. And apparently, like this spot, a lot of semis get hit it and then tip into the creek. Yeah.
Jeez.
I know. I don't know why they haven't fixed that.
Oh my goodness. That sounds really dangerous.
It was, yeah. So it was just a tie rod. I don't know what that is, but something underneath my vehicle was bent.
Yeah.
And my steering was a little out of whack. My steering wheel. So they realigned that, got a new tie rod.
Yeah.
I was just stationed in a little town. No, I can't remember the name of the town now. But it really like forced me to like kind of stay put, like resettle myself. And I think I needed that. Yeah, because there's so much like opportunity to get up and go. And it's important in this lifestyle to like learn how to also balance it with rest. Yeah. It's still a practice for me.
I mean, yeah, same. Finding that balance, even just the week at Skooliepalooza, trying to balance everything. Like,
I know.
You want to be up every night and dancing and having fun with everybody. And then in the daytime, there's all these activities. And you also got to find time for yourself. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and to do the dishes. Do you have
They're hidden. I don't have a lot.
Nice.
Right now to do. I have like one bowl to wash.
Nice.
I did a bunch of dishes yesterday. Yesterday was my cleaning day.
Yeah, mine was a mini cleaning day too.
Definitely needed.
I hear ya.
How do you feel about the setup of your van?
I quite like it. Yeah? Yeah. Well,
what are some of the specs?
I'm looking at how tall your bed is. I'm like, that's a hike up there.
Yeah.
A jump and a half. Do you have a volt pole to get up there?
I just kind of, throw a leg up on the counter and like...
Oh yeah, fun.
Shoot myself up in there.
Fun. Mine's not nearly that high, but I felt like
I don't think anybody's is that high. I think that's just too high.
Yeah.
But... plenty of space in the garage though.
Perfect.
So...
Perfect. Yeah, what more could you ask for? My storage kind of sits above my bed.
Okay.
And I would say that's the only thing that I don't love aesthetically. Well, not even aesthetically. What's the word?
Functionally?
Yeah, that's the word. Functionally. Functionally, because like the amount of times that I first would like hit my head or apparently I throw elbows in my sleep. I had no idea until there was like something above me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then when Charlie gets on top of my head, it just feels like a little more claustrophobia. But other than that, it's great storage in there.
Yeah.
Great storage. It has a full bar fridge and the batteries in the back kind of get drained a lot from it, which I don't really understand the electrical.
Do you know how much, what the capacity is of the batteries that you have?
I've got 400
amp hours?
4 batteries.
You probably have 400 amp hours, at least.
I know. People keep telling me what I have, and then I just kind of blank.
Do you know what brand they are?
They are AMG. Is that right?
Oh, interesting.
Is that I don't have lithium.
Yeah.
I know. And I've heard of lithium. If anyone wants to send me a couple lithium batteries, I'm open to kicking a couple lithium batteries.
Yeah. So then maybe you actually don't have 400, but
I don't know.
Could be 2.
I have enough to get me by.
Yeah. What about solar? Do you know how many watts you have of solar?
A lot of solar. I got a big old panel up top and then 2 on the side.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
No,
fair enough.
I wasn't really given instruction from this gal. She seemed to know. And then I questioned a lot, okay, but should I know the electrical stuff? And there was times when I needed to know it, but I'm just kind of learning the quirks of my van.
Totally.
And I figure it out as I go. And if it's a super overcast day, then I'm not going to put my Starlink out.
Yeah.
Or I can't really curl my hair. Those kind of things. I don't know.
Yeah. And then do you have an oven or no?
No oven.
No oven.
No.
How do you cook? What's your...
I have a little stove, a propane stove.
Okay, cool.
I haven't even used my shower yet. I kind of thought about using it.
Damn, you have a shower in the van.
It's one of those on-demand heaters.
Okay.
So it hooks up to the propane tank and it has
nice.
My maybe 20 gallon, maybe 10 gallon, maybe it's 10 gallon water tank. There's a hose running to the back. Yeah. So there's a shower in the back. Yeah. Got a little shower tent. It kind of came with everything. The only thing I added was the cat litter hole. Yeah. For the litter box, and then a partition in between the electrical so they can't get back there.
Nice. So is there anything you would change at all with your build? Or
right now? No. No. Yeah. I actually quite like it.
Yeah. Being at Skoolie and seeing so many different types of builds, buses, box trucks, ambulances, all the things. Does it make you imagine a future type of rig that you could see yourself in?
It kind of does.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
Yeah. Honestly, one of those, are they I don't even know what size they are. The little school buses.
Oh, yeah. Like the short bus.
The shorter bus. Yeah. Short bus.
Those are great.
Those are super
cool. A lot of room.
Cool. Lots of room. Have you met Gab? Yoga Gab?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's where I got my Blossom.
Oh, nice.
My Sprout and Blossom, I got to go see her for another growth. This is personal growth.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of personal growth at Skoolie.
Trust me, you're preaching to the choir.
I know.
I feel like in a way that's why we all come here.
I think so.
We're on a journey.
Yeah. So yes, her bus, I love it. I'm inspired by it. It's named Topanga.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's just out there. Super vibey. Yeah. I would go for that size of bus.
Nice.
And if I had a partner with me, I'm probably upsize to something like that, because I don't understand how people do it in this cramped space. Yeah. My chair does not swivel like that. This one does, but not that one.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, even though this one does swivel,
maybe I would change that.
They're pretty close
they're pretty
together,
tight,
as you can see.
Yeah.
And then also too, there's not a ton of space.
No, this is your eating quarters.
You know what? Usually I just sit right on top of the counter. Nice. Yeah, I've never, maybe once have I sat in this chair and eaten here. Because normally all my shoes are right here and I can't even turn this thing.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, normally I have a big curtain thing, this isn't even.
Yeah, you've just really set it up for the podcast.
Just for this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
What an honor.
Unfortunately, my windshield is
it's for what
an absolute
happened?
Disaster. I don't even know. I came out one day.
Hail? LA doesn't get hail, does it?
Weird little specks of stuff that I just came out one day and my whole windshield was covered with, and then it doesn't come off easy, and now it looks really bad.
Is it sap?
Maybe.
Gross.
Yeah, pretty gnarly.
Good luck with that.
But I feel you on that, like the partner thing. If I like being in this van feels very much like one person solo, like perfect for just me.
I suspect that there's a lot of communication of like, like, hey, can you move so I can go get this? And like, even just asking for your partner to give you a little extra time in the morning to lay in bed, or I don't know. Just like if they can go for a walk. I don't know how they do it, but that's what I suspect is a lot more communication.
Yeah.
Have you asked Nate and Lexi?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it. I mean, it's impressive. They have such a sweet setup.
This is theirs?
And they've been doing it for a couple of years. Yeah, this is theirs.
Nice. Okay.
And I think that communication definitely is key. I witnessed it a little bit yesterday because we were setting up for the podcast.
Yeah.
And like once the table's set up, you kind of can't like move across it super easy.
Right.
And so they were like kind of like talking to each other, like game planning about like where to position themselves in the van to do certain things of like, wait, no, I actually have to do this. So maybe you should do this. And like, they just kind of...
That's the communication there.
You got to game plan it.
Yeah. So, a lot of game planning. I did
really
not
funny.
expect how much game planning came with this lifestyle. It's like errand day. Woof.
Yeah.
Forget about the rest of your day.
Yeah, eventually you get it down. That I would say is maybe one of the more challenging things.
It is.
So you just got to like find that rhythm, and it just takes time.
Okay.
And I feel like it also just depends on where you are too. Like
true, yeah.
In LA, I have to think about things very differently because of like the flow of traffic.
Right.
And you know, like for example, if I want to do laundry, like I can do laundry at my studio downtown LA.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
But there are many times of the day when I don't want to drive downtown because of the traffic.
Yeah.
And then there's certain days where it's easier to park than others. And so it's like really dialing that in and like, you know, watching my laundry level and be like, all right, am I going to make it to Sunday? And like,
totally.
If not, what's my backup? What laundromat is on the west side that I want to go to?
That's so much planning. Takes so much planning. But, and again, I think it would change depending on if you're stable in one city or town rather than moving constantly.
Yeah. What's your morning routine when you get up in the van?
Okay, so I just learned with one of our lovely little like wellness gatherings. We were doing a little astrology thing and making understanding of my houses. So my house of like the day-to-day stuff with routines and things. I have an Aquarius sign sitting there. So I am terrible with routine. Like I am just so flighty.
Yeah.
And just like trying to stick to one thing in the morning doesn't fit for me. It just kind of, whatever the day brings, it brings.
Yeah.
The one thing I have to do is tongue scraping.
Okay.
I just scrape my tongue and I'm like, okay, bad breath gone. Brush my teeth. Sometimes I don't brush my teeth. Sometimes there's days where I'm washing my face and doing a full skincare routine, like, which is very minimal. I don't do much. But like, I don't know. I keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of me getting up, finding washroom. Has been.
Yeah. Do you have a toilet in your...
I do, but honestly, I hadn't used it until Skoolie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been avoiding using it because I didn't really want to dump it.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm doing a lot of new.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll find a washroom, walk the cats, maybe find a park that I can set up if I'm working or catching a call. Have my morning yogurt and granola and a coffee. And that's the day. That's the start of my day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then what about just like style of traveling? Like, do you like to stay in places for a week, 2 weeks, or are you kind of like just bit bopping around?
I'm a bit bopping girl. I'm moving and grooving and I don't slow down. So that's where those little like knocks in the road or bumps, they kind of force me to slow down.
Yeah.
I'll more often be on the move, checking out new places because I've not explored this much of the States before. And I'm seeing so much. So I just have this excitement in me to keep going.
Yeah. Where are you off to next?
I have yet to figure that out.
Oh.
Yeah. I know for certain I've got my mom and grandma flying out to meet me in Arizona somewheres. And then probably just hang around there. I think I might come back to the beach next week.
Back to like San Diego or?
Yeah. San Diego, maybe.
Up to LA?
Maybe up to LA, maybe up to Santa Barbara. I don't know.
Santa Barbara's beautiful.
It's really pretty.
I love Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I stopped there and just spent I spent one night.
Did you walk down State Street at all?
I think so.
It's like the main street where like all the restaurants are and like the nightlife.
Yeah, I went to find a bathroom down there.
Okay. There's a place you should go. It's called Wild Works. Spelled like about? WYLD or something like that. It's a kombucha brewery and like mead. I think they do kombucha and mead and a lot of music and poetry and art.
That sounds so lovely.
It is my favorite spot in all of Santa Barbara.
Wild
Works. It's on State Street. They almost went out of business too.
Wow.
And I feel like the community like rallied around and saved
it. Okay, well I'm gonna go adding it.
Yeah.
Can I save that?
I'll text it to you.
Okay,
it's a cool spot.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, Santa Barbara was awesome. And then beauty. Arizona, I think, in this time of year, so nice for the van life.
For sure, it's a little cooler.
So nice for the van life.
Yeah, but still warm during the day. Evenings are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of see yourself going in the next 6 months throughout the States? Do you have anything that you really want to hit that you've never been to before?
Mostly the national parks. So like Yosemite. Yeah. I want to get into more hiking. Up Colorado. But it depends on when the snow kind of melts here. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like bounced over the border again. So I do have 6 months reloaded.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I am staying longer. My plans was to head back up for like end of March.
Would you want to do more traveling across Canada, or are you like mostly interested in van life in the States?
I'm mostly interested in the States. I don't really care for the East Coast.
Yeah, have you been out to the Maritimes and?
Yeah, been to PEI, been to Toronto. I probably could go back, but I don't know. I'm a mountain girl. Yeah, through and through, and also like BC calls to me. I just love the lushness of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat British Columbia.
Oh, yes, it really is.
Such a beautiful.
Yeah,
it's paradise.
So why would I ever want to really leave there? I think when I go back up, it'll be more traveling around there and back to Jasper potentially. I'm always kind of hopping into Jasper, bouncing.
Do you see yourself in this lifestyle for a long time?
Oh, it's hard to say. I feel like definitely another year. Yeah. Yeah. But I can't determine what the life has in store for me. Yeah. I'm just kind of like
take it as it comes.
Yeah, taking it as it comes, following my heart with whatever little desires are shouting at me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's been amazing to sit down and talk and just hear your perspective.
Cool. Happy to share my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't get asked much. As a life coach, I'm often like getting to hear other people's thoughts and like kind of challenging them. So this is fun for me.
Man. Well, I got one last question for you. And that is, what advice would you give to anybody who's interested in getting into this lifestyle? The nomadic, van life, road lifestyle?
Yeah, I think if you're interested, if it's like calling to your heart, definitely just like follow it. If you're like pushing for a specific vehicle, like, I don't know, I think the right one will always fall into your lap if you put the intention out there of what you want. I'm pretty sure I had like written down after I did like a road trip with a rental. I did 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just did like this kind of mini manifestation of just like what I wanted in a van. And I'm sure I have it somewhere. I could pull it back up. But like kind of putting your intention into what you want, like write it down, say it out loud, and just like feel into what you want in the experience.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. But also like remembering your why. So like what... For you, why are you doing this journey? Like, is it a self-discovery thing? Maybe is it like a little more financially stable? Living in a bigger city that's really, I don't know. What's the word? I don't live in that. That's the word. Expensive. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. It just reminding yourself of your whys on the days that are really hard can be really helpful to continue the journey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man. I think that's my my inspo right there. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Well, do you have any social media that you want people to follow or check out?
Sure. I'm still newer into the van life, so I don't post as much the van stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm getting excited about it now, so maybe I will. I do have a YouTube channel that I started.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's Freely Lexi for both my YouTube and my Instagram.
Cool.
And yeah, YouTube has very little. And my TikTok. I think I just kind of kept it all as Freely Lexi.
Cool. And I'll make sure to put those links in the description. So.
Cool. And I'm hoping to have my Slice of Life coaching Insta up at some point too. But if interested in life coaching, like I am, doing it virtually. So I can be reached in my DMs.
Okay. Right on. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Lexi.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
I'm glad that we finally made this happen.
I'm so glad.
I'm sorry that it was so hard to schedule.
We've met so many people. We
for real.
I understand.
But this has been awesome. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll see you tonight on the dance floor.
Heck yeah. Let's go dance.
Thank you for listening to the Spring Street Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, sign up for the Patreon to receive exclusive behind-the-scenes content and check out the sponsor links in the description.